We know. Another recruiting podcast, just what the world needed, right? But hear us out. Welcome to Hire Her, the podcast where women in talent don't just have a seat at the table, they're running the whole damn meeting. If you've ever been talked over in a strategy session, had your hiring insights ignored until middle management Brad repeated them, or just wondered why the people shaping the workforce don't actually reflect the workforce, this one's for you. We're bringing you bold conversations, real career stories, and the kind of no BS recruiting talk you actually want to hear. So buckle up, because we're about to flip the script on talent leadership, one episode at a time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's podcast episode of Hire Her, put on by Talent Collective. Talent Collective is a community for women in the recruiting space, and my name is Krista Tan. I'm one of the co-founders of Talent Collective, and this is
Natalie Stone.
We are so glad to be here today with Christy Kennebrew, also known as Me Hired Kristi. She has been in the recruiting space for many years now and has built quite the following, social media following, really is passionate about helping women and underrepresented communities with their job searches. She's also very passionate about candidate experience. You have to follow her on social media and get all the goods. But she's been a huge help to many job seekers throughout her career. We are very excited to learn from her today. So Christy, tell us a little bit more about yourself and your background and what you're up to today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Christy Kennebrew. I go by Me Hired Kristi, and I am the bridge that connects job seekers to their dream jobs. I am so excited to be here. I am very passionate about helping people from marginalized communities navigate their job search space and navigate layoffs. So that has been my primary focus for these last couple, I would say, 2 years since things have been happening in this space. And so I'm super excited, very passionate about sourcing. So talent attraction is my thing. And that is the part of talent acquisition that I focus on. So thank you for having me.
Okay, well, very exciting. Thanks for sharing all of that. So tell me a little bit about, in your career journey, are there any mentors or books or different experiences that have really helped you in your professional career?
Yes, absolutely. So there's one person that I really look up to when it comes to being in this talent acquisition space or being a leader in the talent acquisition space. I don't know if you guys have spoken with her yet. You should definitely speak to her next. Bonnie from LinkedIn, Dilger. I don't want to cut out the last name because I don't want to mess it up. But Bonnie has been such a big inspiration for me when it comes to either content creation and just navigating this space. And I actually reached out to her recently and told her thank you for being a voice for the underrepresented and just like showing that she's an advocate and an ally for DEI. So especially in the talent acquisition space. So she has been just like such a big inspiration to me, a mentor to me, and someone I can go and speak with. As far as podcasts, man, I watch A Life After Layoff. He is on LinkedIn as well. I forget his name, but that podcast has really helped me kind of really navigate some spaces as well. So it's been really good.
Okay. Tell us a little bit more about what specifically you've either learned from Bonnie or, some of those lessons that you really resonate with that she has brought up.
Yeah, I would say when it comes to just standing up for what you believe in, right? I think she uses her platform. She has over like 450,000 followers on LinkedIn. And so her voice is very powerful. And so the fact that she is able to speak on and speak up on what she believes in is truly inspirational for me. So I've been learning a lot about that and just learning about candidate experience as well with her being a leader in her space and being well known. She's been able to help navigate the candidate experience. And that's what I like to do on my page as well. And on my platform as well is help candidates really understand the experience of the job search. So those are some things that I've learned from her. Such a big inspiration to me.
Yeah, great. Okay, thanks.
And I think it's cool because it's somebody you didn't necessarily know, right? Oftentimes we ask that question and it's, oh, it was my mentor, my prior boss, or someone that I knew, right? But this was someone that just was in your feed and has some great content that really resonated with you. So that's cool. She's obviously doing a great job.
Yeah, never met before. Just kind of like, we've done coffee chats and we've connected, but someone I've never met in person to be so inspirational, I think is a really big deal. So, especially in a TA space.
This is a kind of impromptu question, which I'm known to just throw them in there, but I can just kind of see you lighting up when you speak about her. Do you think that can you think of somebody that maybe you've had a similar impact on? That maybe you've mentored, that's growing up in recruiting, so to speak?
Man, a lot of people reach out to me and ask me to mentor them. And for some reason, I'm just like, I feel like there's better mentors out there. But I have gotten a lot of messages. And one of my favorite I would love to talk about is, hey, Christy, you have helped me navigate the job space so much. One of your comments led me to applying to one of the roles that you commented on, and I actually got the job. So I've posted about those different types of comments before. So it's the little things that really have touched me, and me commenting on stuff and it just realizing the reach that you can have with having a big following and how it could reach someone else that just needs the opportunity to get into the door. So I feel like I don't have just one kind of mentee, but I do have a lot of followers or a lot of people that are waiting for me to comment, and I'm ready to comment. I'm ready to spread the reach and spread the word. I have a LinkedIn learning course out now about mentorship in the workplace, and I think that that's truly important. I kind of help people navigate and find mentorship in the workplace and what that looks like, and how do you reach out to someone that you want to be your mentor? So I'll talk a little bit about that. But as far as me having mentees, I feel like I have a little bit more learning to do.
Get ready to turn up the volume on your HR game. I'm Jay Arnold, former musician turned HR leader and host of Backstage Pass, the HR Rockstar. Each episode pulls back the curtain on key HR topics, from leadership lessons and bold career pivots to the latest in HR tech and talent strategies, featuring the rock stars within their industries. If you're ready to shake up the status quo and amplify your impact, this is your all-access pass. You can catch the show on the Work Defined Podcast Network and wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe now and let's rock the future of work together.
Well, you're still mentoring people by the work that you're doing through Get Me Hired. Great. Okay, so follow-up question. We really want to drill down a little bit more about like women in leadership. So do you have any suggestions or strategies that you have found most effective in advocating for women in leadership?
Absolutely. I think one of the things is us being able to support each other. So one thing that I like to do is post about yourself, post about your accomplishments. I think that's going to be the biggest thing as far as just like being able to put yourself out there and let people know what you're doing. And then when us as women, when we see that, to be able to support it, to be able to say, oh my gosh, congratulations on that speaking engagement that you spoke on, that panel that you spoke on. This is so big. So first off, being able to post about your accomplishments, post about the things that you're doing, and then being able to speak up for yourself in those environments, especially in the workplace. And so I would say those are kind of some of the main things that I would say is us supporting each other and really, really highlighting what we're doing in the workplace.
Community and why ours is focused on women.
Yeah.
It's interesting you mentioned like posting about our accomplishments. I don't think that's very natural for a lot of women. And it's funny, in Talent Collective, we have like a member platform where everyone gets together and there's different channels in there. And one of the channels that Natalie and I have felt very passionate about having in our platform, but it just nobody posts in it, is this like wins, highlights, gratitude. And like, we've encouraged people, like you can highlight other people, but like, of course, put your own accomplishments in there too, right? Like, like you said, it's very fun, I think, empowering to be able to say, like, I did this thing, but then you're going to get so much support from the other women in the community, whether it's, like we had one woman who posted, she like wrote I think it was a LinkedIn article or something. And so all the women then sharing it and liking it and all of these things. But we've been so bummed that the channel is like barely used. But I think it goes back to many women don't feel like the confidence that, the work they're doing is like stands out, I guess. It's like, oh, well, I'm just doing what everyone else is doing, or like, I'm not that great. Right. But I feel like we all need to be, really gathering around each other and helping to really empower each other. Right.
Yeah. And you know what? No one is going to brag about you more than you will brag about yourself, right? So it's your responsibility to really put your accomplishments out there, what it is that you want to do next. Even when we think about women that are looking to get into leadership, and their next step is leadership, how are we supposed to know what you've been doing or some of the actions that you've done? And so I really, really love to encourage women to brag about themselves, have a brag book, even when it comes to being able to get promotions within the workplace or, things like that. Take on some of those projects that, some of the men are taking on within your company or organization. Like, we can stand out and we have the ability to do just as much. And so, but people need to know about it. People need to know about it.
So true. Great. Okay. So one of the things that we love to talk about on our podcast is controversial trends in recruiting. So what is one controversial trend that you think needs more attention in our space, and why?
I'd say the biggest controversial trend that I'm seeing is, I had two that I wanted to bring up, but I think I want to talk more so about just like the sourcing space and being able to find talent kind of like out in these unique spaces, right? And so a big thing that I think I've been talking more about on my channels is how the resume is really important, but my unpopular opinion is your LinkedIn profile is just as important, or maybe a tad bit more important, right? When I think about myself in my role and kind of, the actions that I do in my role, I am actively looking for candidates outside of the ATS. So I don't go through resumes in the ATS. I'm going through resumes I'm not going through resumes at all. I'm looking for candidates in very unique places. I'm looking at their LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn groups, GitHub, different things like that I'm exploring to find the best talent, right? And so it's important, if you are looking, especially in a job market like this, that it's important that you make yourself available and highlight your skills in different areas outside of your resume. And a lot of people give me pushback when it comes to that. I feel like, it's very controversial. It's like, oh, the resume is the thing. It's the one thing. But it's like, hey, in a job market like this, you have to be able to stand out in different ways. And so I think being able to highlight yourself on your LinkedIn profile, different groups, highlighting your skills, again, having women highlight themselves on different platforms is going to be another way that recruiters or sourcers like myself find you. What do you think about the resume? Is the LinkedIn profile more important than the resume, or is it the same weight?
I don't know if I agree or disagree. My opinion is more.
Finding a great career has always been a challenge. But today, with the massive changes underway in just about every sector of the economy, in just about every country in the world, finding a great new career is even more challenging. And if you're a student, recent graduate, or someone else early in their career, it's even harder for you because you just don't have the experience that those who might be 10, 20, 30 years older than you have. The answer? The podcast, From Dorms to Desks, a podcast by College Recruiter job search site, where every week we take a deep dive into a topic specifically of interest to candidates who are early in their careers and looking for a great part-time, seasonal, internship, or other entry-level job.
I much prefer to read LinkedIn than a resume. Resumes are just lengthy, they could be embellished. So maybe I am agreeing with you. I gravitate to someone's LinkedIn. Like that's the first thing that I'll look at.
Yeah, same. I think for two reasons, and then I'll give a perspective on how I think AI plays into this. Two reasons why I like the LinkedIn profile better than the resume is one, the type of company. And, you as a recruiter, you can't know every company out there. And oftentimes I'm recruiting for companies that want a very specific profile of they came from this type of company. So I can easily look into the company of like, how big are they? What series, if they're a startup, like what series, what type of company have they worked for? Two is I hate doing mental calculations in my head to find out how long someone's been at the company. So, and sometimes on the resume, it'll say like 2023 to 2024. It's like, okay, how long were you actually there? Were you there for, 6 months, or were you there for almost 2 years? So LinkedIn automatically calculates that for me. So easy peasy. I don't have to use more brain power than I need to. And then, so AI, what I think is really interesting is, as we now know, so many candidates are using AI in tailoring their resume for each job that they're applying to. Great. But the LinkedIn profile is static, right? Not static because you can change it at any time, but it's one profile. So I know that the resume I'm looking at has most likely been modified by AI for this specific job. So it's going to tell me what I want to hear. Now I go look at their LinkedIn profile, and their LinkedIn profile is being seen by many companies. They might be applying to several different flavors of jobs. So it's going to be, I think, a more true reflection of what the candidate is actually all about.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Just for the people out there that may, are so gung-ho on resumes, I'm not saying that it's not important. But what I am saying that there are different ways that sourcers like myself go out and find talent. And especially when we think about big tech, it's like, where can you find niche talent? Where can you go and find the most unique talent in the most hard to reach spaces, right?
Yeah.
Just something to think about to my job seekers out there.
Well, that leads into our final question. We would love to know, piece or pieces of advice that you would want to share with job seekers, especially, sharing a little bit more about your business and what job seekers can benefit from. What would you like to share?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things I love to let job seekers know, I've been on both sides of the spectrum when it comes to being a job seeker and being a sourcer recruiter. So I know how it looks like from both ends. And I've been job searching myself. I've been through a layoff twice. So I've been in this market and kind of understand what the job seeker is going through. And that is what Get Me Hired Kristi is about, right? I go through the challenges, or I share my challenges so that you don't face those same challenges that I'm going through. So as you can see through my content and things like that, you'll see me kind of expressing some of the challenges I've been through, or the barriers that I've been through in the job search. So in helping you understand and navigate those as well. So that's what Get Me Hired Kristi is about. And if you need help, feel free to reach out to me. One of the things that I want to let my job seekers know is that a layoff does not define you. You are great, you are impactful, and you will get hired again. And so that's one of the things that I think is important to note. I want to scream it from the top of the mountains that your layoff does not define you, because a lot of the job seekers out there and candidates that I've run up against or come in contact with have made it a thing like, this layoff is a part of me. This layoff is defining me and stopping me from getting my next opportunity. And I want to let you know that that's not true. There's ways to navigate it. It's not a part of you, and you will move forward and get hired again and make impact again. So those are some of that. That is the advice I want the job seeker to know. Like, it is not the end of the world. You are still great. And sometimes we just have to detach ourselves from the idea that we're no longer in that place, the place that we've made great impact, but it's time to go make impact somewhere else. So that's what I want my job seekers to know.
Okay. This is actually the last question, and it'll be kind of like a rapid fire. So what are the top 3 challenges that you have experienced in your job search right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So landing the interview. So being able to stand out and land the interviews, some of the things that I do to combat that is being able to follow up each application with a hiring manager, a message to the hiring manager or recruiter. That's one of the main things. So how are we standing out? I want my job seekers or anyone in talent acquisition that's looking for a recruiter role to have a pitch line. So being able to have a pitch, my pitch, I'll share it with you. I go by Me Hired Kristi, and I am the bridge that connects job seekers to their dream jobs. Now, that is the line that I say at the beginning of any interview whenever I'm introducing myself. So they remember that line, like, oh, she's Get me who? Hired Kristi? What? And so just something that is going to be memorable for the interview. I think there's a lot of interviews going on. There's a lot of people in the pipeline, a lot of candidates that are applying to each one of these roles. There has to be something that helps you stand out. And I truly believe that that is going to be some type of pitch line that describes yourself to the interviewer so they remember you. And then I would say the next thing would be prepared. Got to be prepared. I wrote a post about this not too long ago, yesterday. I did like 4 interviews last week, just kind of going through my job search, and each one of them was different. I had to prepare for each one of the interviews very differently. And so being prepared for each interview, understanding the company, and keeping your energy up when you're interviewing, because when you're doing so many, you get tired. But keeping your energy up and making sure you're staying confident throughout the whole interview, I think is another piece of advice I would want to give.
Yeah, maybe not booking too many interviews on one day.
Yeah, trying to spread them out as much as possible. But I get it. Like when you're in that mindset of like, oh, I need to get a job. Like, let me try to get in as quick as I can. Then it's like, okay, you're in interviews back to back to back. But you're right. Give yourself some grace to be able to prepare properly for each one of these interviews so that you don't feel so stressed out.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Christy. Get Me Hired Kristi.
Yes, I have my shirt on for y'all today. Get Me Hired Kristi. And then I have everything on my website, getmehiredkristi.com. We have some transferable skills, our real shirts that are there because I truly believe in transferable skills. My transferable skills has helped me get into recruiting, which is the dream spot that I want to be in. So I'm here. And you can find more about me on getmehiredkristi.com.
Well, we appreciate you spending time with us today, and our Dallas community looks forward to seeing you at their launch. To our audience, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. You can find us on YouTube and all major places where you find your podcasts. So until next week, we will see you soon.
Yay!
Thanks, everyone.
Love the convo? Then don't stop here. Check out Talent Collective, where badass women in recruiting connect, grow, and maybe, just maybe, take over the world. Hit that subscribe button, share with your crew, and let's keep proving that talent isn't just a pipeline problem, it's a leadership revolution. See you next time, unless you're ghosting us like that candidate who swore they were excited about the offer.